All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another journey of a drawing. And here we go. We are on now. If you were here with me 2 days ago, I started. Actually, I had already had this drawing worked up. The face I did not care for at all. It was just not jiving with my character. So this is Crom the Barbarian. And so I ended up reworking the face. And then from 2 days ago, periscoping to right now, ended up finishing off the drawing with some pen and ink and white paint marker. With that, I then turned and gave him a printout, and this is a Strathmore gray toned 11 by 14 paper. One of the reasons I love working on this paper is that I'm going to start off with a white color pencil. So with the black lines from the drawing and even some of the values from the penciling and inking on the gray tone, I can immediately start drawing with light. So what I'm going to do is the light direction is kind of coming from here in the image. So everything on this side of him, I'm going to start giving a white highlights. And then as the colors start building from there, and I finish off with white highlights, those two white highlights will sandwich together and make a really nice bright picture. So I'm just going to start laying in some white. Number 938 color pencil. Prismacolor is my choice of color pencils. Now he is a natural blonde, as characters go, and a Viking barbarian. I'll be telling you more about him a little later. Just really excited about getting the coloring on today. And, I do have a reference off to my right that I am going to refer to occasionally, but this drawing and the character pretty much has all to offer in the way of established colors. So really all I'm sort of following at this point are any areas that would be necessary for highlighting without anything on it right now is ink or pencil 2. So my mark making is very hatched and feathered, keeping some space in between the lines. So the way I'll be laying the color down is in a very cross-hatching way in order to establish my colors at the end. There's no right or wrong to any of this. It's really all about just going with your guts, making these things happen. I think the most important thing to drawing, creativity as anything goes, whether you're a musician or anything, is just listening to the art. Listening to this drawing is really what I got to get into. Once I'm there, it's going to be a pretty easy ride. And a nice, enjoyable one at that, too. Having done the pencil drawing and even the inking, I have a really good idea of where lights are. So none of this is really a mystery. Thank you. As subject matter goes, my number one, and I can literally say, number one favorite subject matter is sword and sorcery, Conan the Barbarian. So for years I've been holding off, and now I am finally putting forth all my efforts towards my own sword and sorcery world with Crom the Barbarian. This is his first comic book. It's a Golden Age character back in the 1950s, if anybody's into comic books. It's a lot of great stuff, I have to admit. It's good, wholesome fun. So I'll be getting into that more a little later. When I'm working as I am right now and coloring, and everything is a pretty on the spot type of thing, what I'll do is, show you in a second, just get this big toe. As I'm laying the colors down on the back, just to help me remember my sequence, make a little swatch of the color. Like I said, I usually always start with white, and then put down the number of the pencil, so it'll all catalog out. And then when I look at the drawing, go, oh, how did I get in there? Oh, it was probably something along the lines of, oh, these colors. So it kind of has a little nappy guide on the back. So that is pretty much all the white I want to put down right now. So what I'm going to do is, one of the dominant colors is a nice warm brown. I'm going to bring in, this looks like it's a 941. Just a nice middle tone, medium brown. It's a 941. And I'm going to do a little bit of outlining. I'm going to calm down some of these dark black lines. Nothing too heavy. I'm going to let this brown work with other colors as they come along. Flesh tones, even some of the hair, the golden blonde hair. But I am by the end going to be, or having worked away all these black lines. So this is just going to sort of help them go away. I want the color pencils to do their job as coloring goes. So I'm mimicking everything line-wise. And notice, like in his chest, there's a lot of like cross-hatching in there. So I'm using them as a guide, like a map. So once again, not inventing any kind of movement. I'm just calming down the black lines with this nice brown color pencil. Now, if there are darker areas, I'll let them be, because they will end up just being darker spaces. But this is also a mood-establishing color. Being a barbarian, hot pink is not going to be his choice of colors. Browns, blacks, blues, reds. These will be more suitable colors to him. Stylistically, as drawing goes, I love color pencils because I'm still maintaining this drawing feeling. I have training in painting, watercolor and gouache. Even when I ink, I'd always keep it in the drawing mode. There's just something about this activity. It's so soothing, and yeah, just by the time the drawing is quote-unquote finished, I feel good about it as a drawing. It's not overdone. There's enough kind of reality or realisticness about it. But I'm just still going over the top of all these black lines, calming them down a bit. I think Periscope needs a translator. Some of my comments, I would like to know what you're saying. I have a feeling it's probably something along the lines of, cool, I like that. And therefore, thank you. All right. So almost there. And with this nice warm Prismacolor 941. All right. So there's Prismacolor 941 brown laid out. Feeling good about it. Wait a second. Let me get over here. I don't want it to be that dark. Okay. All right. Next, I'm going to work into the flesh tones, the fleshy areas. This is a Tuscan red, 937. Good follow-up color to this warm brown. And just in all the areas of dark again, but just dealing with the flesh, I go intuitively over the brown. So this combination of warm brown and Tuscan red is really nice. Really nice. Be getting to the flesh tones. And this is just all constructive layering work, foundation stuff. Nothing too exciting, but very important, all the, to make things nice and necessary in the end. Hands have a tendency to be very blood-filled, red and fleshy, a lot of pinks. Some even kind of getting over the top of all those browns. Now, since this arm is off to the right side, light is coming in from the left side. It's all going to be more cooler over here, so there's not a lot that I have to do, even in the hand. Just a little bit of note and accent. Same with the feet. When it comes to hands and feet, there's a lot of blood in them, so they end up having a lot of red in them. Pinks and some purples. Okay, feeling good about this. Yep. All right. So, oops, right over here. Oh, nice. All right. So there's some Tuscan red, 937. All right. Now, staying with the flesh, I'm going to grab a little bit of pink. This is actual rose pink, 928. I'm going to stay on the flesh tones right now. This is 928. But I'm going to be bringing in, this is an art stick. This is from Prismacolor as well. They end up being a lot softer than the pencils, and the pencils already are pretty soft. But what I like doing at this point is, on an edge, start bringing in some nice fleshy pinks. But you're going to be smudging down some of the brown and red lines, kind of smoothing some things out. I'm blending some of these colors. You'll notice for the most part, especially in these fleshy areas, everything is out to the sides. That's fine. But I am thinking I'm going to have to do some work on the insides. Like I said, with the hands and feet, there's a lot more pink in there. Oh, I get a lot in there. On the knees, on the feet. One of the other things about working with color pencils in order to get coloring accomplished is it happens pretty quickly. You just grab a pencil and start coloring. There's no waiting for paint to mix or mixing paint together. You just grab some colors and start coloring. I like that immediacy of working with color pencil. Okay, so flesh tones are looking good. Pinks here and there. All right. And what I am going to do now is, this is light peach. Like I was just saying, I have a lot of color on the outside. On the outside edges of the forms. I'm going to take this, and anywhere there's white, I'm going to be merging now and filling in the brown, Tuscan red, and a nice rosy pink. I'm not going to say that this is even close to being finished, but as flesh goes, this will be pretty established colors to then start working off of these colors. And that white underneath really helps this pink pop up. It actually doesn't allow it to be all that dark. Not that This 927 light peach. And it's still having that filling it in flare. Nothing too detailing. Yeah. Alright, so I am pretty satisfied with this right now. As getting flesh tones all established and put down. I am going to start packing it in for today. I am going to be returning in 2 days at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. So go ahead and follow me and a little note for that. Now this is Crom the Barbarian. He is a character of mine that I brought out of the public domain. This is one book where it was there were only 3 10-page stories in 1950. I went ahead and secured and put them all together. This is a Planet story by the writer and creator of Crom the Barbarian, who is Gardner F. Fox. This is the Warlock of Sharador. So I digitally transcribed the story. A real fun story, 1958, Planet Stories. It was like a Pulp Fiction magazine. I took these two and did a new adventure for Crom the Barbarian and illustrated it myself. Rewrote, repurposed the story. And it's one of the characters in the story. There's Crom himself. So these are all there. I am Kurt Brugel. I can be reached at kurtbrugel.com. If you were interested in barbarian, sword and sorcery, Crom the Barbarian, you can go to cromthebarbarian.com. It's a newsletter. Monthly I put out a newsletter and give you updates on his next adventure. So I want to thank everybody for joining me today. In 2 days I will be back in coloring Crom. Thank you.